Sarawak Regatta making waves. GPS to showcase new and young faces as well as women representatives in GE15. Joe Biden on most important election. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Shal Chamato, and this is TVS Nightline. The Sarawak Regatta Kuching Waterfront Festival is making waves for Sarawak in promoting the state's iconic event onto the world stage. Despite a 2-year hiatus, the event received an encouraging response and even attracted international participation. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Padigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunaping said the festival also has a spillover effect which helps generate income for the local entrepreneurs.
Saya ucap tahniah kepada Kementerian Pelancongan dan juga pihak residen Kuching yang telah menganjurkan Regatta Sarawak selepas kita COVID 2 tahun. Saya difahamkan oleh Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri bahawa sambutan sangat menggalakkan dari sudut penyertaan antarabangsa dalam perlombaan Dragon Boat, dan minggu hadapan pun dijangkakan banyak penyertaan daripada lokal dalam regatta, dan ini memberikan spillover kepada usahawan-usahawan kita.
Abang Johari said this after officiating the Sarawak Regatta Kuching Waterfront Festival and the Sarawak International Dragon Boat Regatta race on Saturday. Sarawak Regatta 2022 offers a total prize of 240,000 ringgit in various categories. Among the main highlights of the event include the 2022 Raja Sungai Cup, which offers a grand prize of 20,000 ringgit. This year, 16 countries participated in the Sarawak International Dragon Boat Regatta, comprising 50 teams and over 1,000 participants.
Gabungan Party Sarawak, or GPS, will showcase young candidates, women representatives, as well as experienced candidates to contest in the upcoming 15th general election. GPS Chairman Dato' Padigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunaping said the announcement of candidates will be made on November 3. In regards to that, Abang Johari also mentioned that the coalition will be sending 31 candidates in G15 to ensure a strategic component in the nation's political landscape, as this would account to the values of GPS in the formation of the federal government.
Dan dalam PR15 kita hantarkan juga ahli-ahli kita yang kokoh dengan semangat Sarawak First. Orang muda akan calon. Wanita juga akan jadi calon. Orang berpengalaman juga akan jadi calon. Kita telah melihat 3 Perdana Menteri bertukar tangan. Hingga penyakit ini pun datang ke UK. Kita hantarkan 31 daripada DPR. Dan kita teruskan menjadi komponen yang strategik dan penting dalam negara Malaysia.
President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, describes the upcoming midterm election as the most important poll. This statement came after predictions that suggest Democrats could lose control of both houses of Congress due to the people's discontentment over inflation and abortion rights.
My objective when I ran for president was to build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. An economy that rewards work, not just wealth. An economy that works for everybody, so the poor have a ladder up, the middle class can do well, and the wealthy will still do very fine. It's a fundamental shift that's working compared to the MAGA Republican trickle-down economics that Republicans offer these days.
Biden also drew a sharp contrast between his economic plans and those of the so-called MAGA Republicans on issues such as prescription drug costs to Social Security.
I promise you, we'll protect Social Security, we'll protect Medicare, we'll protect you. And all of this is in stark contrast to the stated Republican agenda. You know, when you ask anybody out there who thinks they know politics, what's the Republican agenda? What are they for?
Biden spoke at the Pennsylvania Democratic Party's annual Independence Dinner on Friday. Also present was the Vice President of U.S., Kamala Harris. Biden's 2020 rival, Trump, and his potential adversary in 2024 are expected to campaign in Pennsylvania next weekend.
No stones will be left unturned in the upcoming 15th general election, as Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS will fight to the end against all opposition or independent candidates contesting in the coming polls. State Deputy Premier Dr. Ahmad Douglas Uga said the coalition wants to win as many of the 31 seats at stake.
The Parti Pusaka Bumiputera Bersatu PBB Deputy President said winning as many seats as possible is very important for GPS to be strong, respected, and to govern the state well. He said only by winning could it continue the ongoing effort to restore more of the state eroded rights under MA 63. He also said by winning more seats, Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg could focus on more ways to generate more income for the state, adding that it will lead to more developments, progress and prosperity for the state and the people. Uga, who is also GPS Parliamentary Election Director, thus called on all members and supporters to continue to remain strongly united and give their undivided support to all its candidates.
Although he has been berated by several parties for party hopping, Deputy Minister of Plantation Industries and Commodities, Datuk Willie Mongin, wants to continue serving the people if he named a candidate for the upcoming 15th general elections. Willie, who is also the incumbent of P198 Puncak Borneo, described himself as a party man under Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS and has successfully proved his worth and will continue to deliver the best service if he is re-elected.
Yes, people say that I'm a traitor, people say that I'm a fraud, but I believe there's more other fraud that still being accepted and they can deliver well, even better than the non-fraud. So let the people decide. And I want to say this, I put my commitment to the party. I'm a party man and I devote to the party struggle for the better Sarawak and also better Malaysia.
In regard to his candidacy, Willie will lead the Supreme Council of Parti Pusaka Bumiputera Bersatu and GPS to decide on the matter.
So I want to tell you that I'm very sincere to my struggle. I want to make sure that everybody benefit, and if we are there to sincere, to work for the people, to bring prosperity, to bring more development, and we also have to look after the well-being. So whoever that being selected, I will support them. I will support them. I think if the leadership decide, okay, Willie, you are not the candidate, this is our candidate, I will support them because I want to show my sincerity as a party man. A lot of people that say that they're party men, but they are not willing to sacrifice. But I'm very truthful to my word. But if I'm being selected, I hope the rest will do the same to give me the commitment, the same commitment to me. So because until now, I do not know who's going to be picked up. So I hope that I will be given a chance and I will continue to serve the people. And I hope that they also can see my sincerity to work for the people.
Willie spoke during a press conference after officiating the Pepper Festival 2022 on Saturday, October 29th.
With the addition of 15,000 new voters in Limbang, it is seen to be strengthening the Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS coalition in that area for the 15th general election. Deputy Minister for Modernisation of Food Industry, Commodities and Regional Development, Dr. Abdul Rahman Ismail said that with the increased number of new voters, up to date there are approximately 42,000 voters registered for the Limbang Parliament.
Thus, Abdul Rahman, who is also Bukit Kota Assemblyman, urged the new voters, especially the youth, to give their support to GPS in the upcoming 15th general election.
Jadi saya menyuruhlah kepada pengundi-pengundi turunlah ramai-ramai naikkan mereka memilih kerajaan yang mereka fikirkan mampu untuk menuju negara, dan kalau di Sarawak tak lain dan tak bukan kerajaan GPS. Dan kita mahu suara GPS lebih kuat kedengaran dengan rakyat di Sarawak, memberi kuasa kepada rakyat GPS, kalau boleh 31 kursi untuk membawa suara GPS, suara rakyat ke peringkat parlimen.
Abdul Rahman is optimistic that the current number of voters for Limbang is expected to increase the percentage of votes in the upcoming election.
Dan dengan pertambahan pengundi ini kita menyangka suasana akan lebih meriah lah. Dan sekiranya semua datang turun mengundi, dan ini menjadi satu cabaran lah bagi kita. Sebenarnya setiap kali pilihan raya memang kita meminta semua dapat menunaikan tanggungjawab dengan memberi kemudahan-kemudahan.
He said this when met by TVS after the International Tug of War Championship closed and opened at the Limbang Sports Complex on Saturday.
Meanwhile, the latest electoral roll for Sarawak by the Election Commission EC stands at 1.9 million voters, an increase of 59.14% compared to 1.2 million people recorded during the 14th general election GE14. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Parliament and Law, Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaffar said out of that number, voters between the ages of 21 and 39 made up the largest category with 825,791 people, as well as 129,034 voters aged 18 to 20.
In addition, Wan Junaidi said Sarawak EC had made various preparations involving air, water and land logistics to ensure the smooth running of the election. In order to overcome telecommunication access problem in certain areas, he said EC is cooperating with the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, and the telecommunications companies to ensure that all candidate nomination centers and polling stations have connectivity and communication coverage. EC had also obtained the cooperation of the Insolvency Department of Malaysia and the Inland Revenue Board to get the latest information on the bankruptcy status and tax records of the candidates who will contesting, apart from the Attorneys General chambers to provide legal advice for the returning officer. On the upcoming 15 electoral poll, Sarawak EC mentioned that a total of 38,148 officers will be on duty, involving 1,943 polling stations, including 55 early voting stations with 4,286 channels.
Finance Minister Tengku Dato' Sri Zafrul Aziz has strongly urged Malaysians aged 18 to 20 who will be voting for the first time in the 15th general election GE15 to exercise their democratic right and responsibility as a citizen to vote and ensure the country's future.
So the choice is yours. Would you choose policymakers that are responsive and responsible, while also taking a reformist approach for the sake of your children? So this coming GE will be a heated competition for your hearts and minds. So choose wisely, as every vote matters. So we must restore stability to bring back Malaysia's shine and appeal in the eyes of investors and the international business community. So what better way to do this than to express ourselves through the ballot box?
Tengku Zafrul also added that the country must restore stability to bring back Malaysia's shine and appeal in the eyes of investors and the international business community. GE15 is the first Malaysian general election in which the voting age is over 18 as opposed to over 21 previously. A total of 1,393,549 voters aged between 18 and 20 in the country will vote for the first time in the GE15.
Voters below the age of 45 years old are seen as the possible deciding factor in the upcoming 15th general election compared to voters aged 18 to 25. State's Premier Dato' Patiki Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng said that following the implementation of Undi 18, many Sarawakians aged below 45 became new voters following the automatic registration.
The Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS chairman noted that the percentage of voters aged 18 to 21 is fewer than the number of new voters under the 45-year-old age bracket. Nonetheless, Abang Johari is confident that the policies of the state government under his leadership will have a positive impact on youth, such as the Sovereign Wealth Fund to be tabled in the State Legislative Assembly next month. Once established, he said the future generation in Sarawak will be able to reap the benefit from the fund.
Coming up right after the break, 72 deaths from Philippine tropical storm and strong government, strong administration. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Awak datang ni nak apa?
Tadi dekat depan saya nampak ada tulis kerja kosong.
Ada bawa surat? Hei! Awak ingat saya ni tauki pajak gadai ke?
Alah cik, surat lain tak ada. Ini je ada. Cantik rumah cik Rumah ni berapa ribu Nak jual tak?
RM30,000.
Tunggu saya masuk getaran jiwa dulu. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Awak datang ni nak apa?
Tadi dekat depan saya nampak ada tulis kerja kosong.
Ada bawa surat? Hei! Awak ingat saya ni tauki pajak gadai ke?
Alah cik, surat lain tak ada. Ini je ada. Cantik rumah cik Rumah ni berapa ribu Nak jual tak?
RM30,000.
Tunggu saya masuk getaran jiwa dulu. Assalamualaikum.
Welcome back to the Nightline. With a strong government, there will be a strong administration that can prevent any turmoil to focus on key tasks like reviving the economy. According to the Prime Minister, Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, turmoil can occur if the government formed is not sufficiently strong in its core administration, which can result in state officials focusing more on political issues rather than the people's interests.
Ismail Sabri cited the Barisan Nasional Pahang under Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Wan Rosli Wan Ismail as an example of a very stable administration that generate revenue of more than 1 billion ringgit among its many successes. The Prime Minister pointed out that during his early administration stage, he managed to make the political situation more stable, but toward the end, he was subjected to attacks from both fronts, saying that the government was unstable before the dissolution of Parliament. Ismail Sabri said this when speaking at the Keluarga Malaysia Feast in conjunction with the Pahang Level Aspirasi Keluarga Malaysia Tour at Dewan Jubilee Perak Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah on Saturday.
The Health Ministry MOH has proposed 2 possible methods for voting to the Election Commission EC concerning the COVID-19 patients. According to Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah, the decision for SOP of the patients will also be announced this coming Monday, October 31st.
The first method proposed by MOH is to provide a special lane and room just for the COVID-19 patients to vote, while the other method is for the COVID-19 patients to go to an MOH tent where they will wear a protective equipment before being taken to the polling station. Dr. Noor Hisham noted that non-critical COVID-19 patients would be allowed to cast their vote during polling day, where they must be imposed with strict SOP by the Election Commission. He told us to reporters after the Putrajaya Pink October Fun Walk 2022 on Saturday. Dr. Noor Hisham noted that non-critical COVID-19 patients would be allowed to cast their vote during polling day, where they must be imposed with strict SOP by the Election Commission. He told us to reporters after the Putrajaya Pink October Fun Walk 2022 on Saturday.
Among the many conventionally built homes that sit on Kuching, Sarawak, the state's first ever 3D printed house is measured at approximately around 900 square feet, which took an impressive 36 hours to complete. The prototype, based at the Construction Industry Development Board Kuching campus, has the potential to provide an alternative method leading to a faster, greener and more durable homes and buildings. According to the Sarawak Consolidated Industries Berhad SEIB's Chief Operating Officer, Chai Tze Kwang, while still an emerging technology, this method is expected to facilitate significant savings.
The COO added that the 3D printing system was acquired as part of the innovation initiatives and to explore the possibilities of deploying this technology in the domestic construction industry. In line with the Sarawak government's initiative under the ruling coalition GPS on providing more affordable homes, such as the Rumah Spektra Permata RSP and the Rumah Mampu Milik RMM.
We have completed a mock-up units using 3D printing technologies together with CIDB Sarawak in CIDB site office. And in terms of speed, I think traditionally it will take probably a few weeks to complete the walls of a single-story house, and with 3D printing technologies, we will manage to complete it within 36 hours. So that will reduce significantly on the times consumed, and of course, using 3D printing technologies, the manpower significantly reduces also. Also to print the houses, I think we use about less than 5 manpower to complete printing the wall of the house.
As such, Chai added, with the current designs of buildings, this method may just be the future of the construction industry, as it also allows greater design freedom when compared to conventional building methods.
But I think 3D printers, 3D printing technologies will play a very important role in future's constructions. And today, when you look at the architectural design of buildings, it's become more complicated and more advanced, and you need all these technologies to make it happen. So I would say that these 3D printing technologies will be the one of the play a very significant roles in future's constructions.
However, Ivan Son Pui, the company's senior business development manager, said this method, albeit convenient, is not without its own challenges.
It's very new in the market, and even the local authorities, like for instance our local Bandaraya, they have not been exposed, and they have no reference of this construction industry whereas standards is concerned. So at this point in time, we are working closely with our government, especially CIDB, Construction Industry Malaysia, to help to formalize a standard where everyone can follow, even the engineers, architects can follow the same standard. And of course, we're working closely together with international bodies where they have already developed. So we are trying to adopt their standard to our local conditions here.
Nevertheless, he believes that the industry has a lot of catching up to do in order to incorporate this method into the future of construction.
So I believe that our construction industry, there's a lot of catching up to do. And I believe this 3D printing technology is one of the best stepping stone for our construction industry player to show to the world that we Malaysia can also do 3D printing and also improve the image of construction industry in Malaysia, where we are using 3D technologies, whereas nowadays we are talking about IR 4.0. The internet, using technologies, because now we're after facing pandemic, there are a lot that we have learned where because of pandemic, shortage of labor, health concerns. So I believe machine can help to solve this problem of shortage of labor and also this pandemic situation in our construction industry.
Now, as you can see right behind me, this is the house that has been built using the 3D printing method. There's actually one more located in Kuala Lumpur, meaning there's a total of 2 houses that has been built using this method. Now, it has been proven that this method, the 3D printing method, is actually more cost efficient due to the fact that there's much less labor needed, because as you may know, Malaysia is facing labor shortages throughout the country due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of them have gone back to their home country, and plus with this method, it will actually reduce the wastage of materials being used for a certain construction of a project or maybe a building. And maybe, just maybe, this 3D printing method will become the future of our construction industry right here in Sarawak. I'm Muhammad Yusuf with our videographer Nasrullah for TVS Kuching.
And now on to our world affairs. A total of 72 deaths were recorded from the storm that engulfed the Philippines' southern provinces on Saturday, October 29. Dubbed the Nalgi tropical storm, the Philippines Disaster Agency said the storm inundated residences with floods and landslides. Aside from the death that is expected to rise over time, 33 others were found injured, while 14 people have been reported missing.
The Philippines Disaster Agency added that Maguindanao was the most affected area, recording 67 deaths, while 2 were killed in Sultan Kudarat and South Cotabato, respectively. Other casualties were recorded across the Visayas region in central Philippines. The tropical storm, which sustained a maximum speed of 95 kilometers per hour, had caused major floods since Friday, October 28th. Where search and rescue teams pulled bodies from floodwater and thick mud caused by a heavy downpours and landslides.
That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shal Shamiato. Thank you for watching.